Howdy, everybody. It's your pal Misty. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. We have a live stream. I got a lot of friends here already. Hello, Carolyn, Mary, Cheryl, Teresa, and Natasha. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. And happy Monday. It's the day after Christmas. We will give it a few minutes to see. Oh my gosh, there's already like 8 people here. Happy Monday, everybody. We'll still give it a few minutes, and I'll just chat for a second while we give people time to get the notification and join, and then we'll get to topics. Look at Natasha gave me a present for Christmas. Isn't it cute? She fixed it up for me, so it says "Howdy, friends." And then it's kind of hard to see, but she's changed it to an orangish color instead of a purple. But I like it, Natasha. It's great. And then I don't think y'all be able to see it. Mary got me a bunch of cool things. But this bracelet, I'm not gonna lie, I think you already know Mary. It's my favorite. It says "Do it anyway," because that's what we do. Now we've made him move up there. Because we do it anyway. So thank you, ladies, for spending part of your Christmas day with me yesterday. I appreciate it. It was a good day. And then I spent the evening with Amy and her kids. We went and had Chinese food. So just really briefly, for breakfast, we went to Denny's after our walk. We normally do, as most of y'all know, we go for like a 4 or 5 mile walk on the weekends on Sunday. And then we typically go out to eat, but it was Christmas, so we knew not every place would be open. So we went to Denny's, and I had the lumberjack slam. I went all in. I had pancakes and toast and eggs and bacon and sausage and ham and hash browns. I left almost all of the hash browns and like half of the pancakes, but I ate the rest of it. And then for dinner, we went to have Chinese food, and I had like 2 sushi rolls, a bunch of edamame, some dumplings. So it was good. It was delicious. Made me a little tired, but not bad, to be fair. So overall, a really good day. All right, let's see. I see other people popping in here while I was giving it time. Let's see, just everybody telling everybody hello. Will is here. Hello, Will. Thanks for being here. Mama. Thanks, Mama. Hey, Mama. I got to tell y'all something in just a second about that. Oh, sweet potatoes. Mary, did you find your sweet potato? Mary was looking for sweet potatoes earlier. Super cute, right? Isn't it? It's super cute. They're all my gifts are super thoughtful. Hello, Marcy. How are you, Marcy? How you doing? Sarah! Hey, Sarah. Happy to have you here. And everybody, you need the backstory on the giraffe. So, well, giraffes are my favorite. I mean, that's most of the backstory. And orange is my favorite color. So, I wonder if y'all can see it if I bring it up more. So, the giraffe was already there. So, Natasha just changed it to say "Howdy, friends." And then you can see like it was a purple color on the back. So, she just, good on Natasha, repurposing stuff. Oh, but I don't have it on there either. We might need to come up with a better hanging situation. But, so that's pretty much that. It's so crooked. Oh no, Ruby, it's fine, baby. Anyway, so there's that. It was a Christmas present. It was great. Deanna, hello, Deanna. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And LB, hello, LB. I hope you enjoyed your outing today. So, really quickly, I did a recap of what I did for Christmas. Had a bunch of yummy food that I might not typically enjoy, but I enjoyed it. I didn't feel bad after eating it. I didn't go crazy, but I mean, it was good. So, for those of you who have not been following along and were not here when I opened my Christmas presents, I got one of these cubes, and I have been addicted to it. I cannot put it down. It is so much fun. So if you have not seen it, it's called a Shishibo cube, and it just flips in on itself, and it makes all kinds of fun shapes. And then my mama told me today that the even better part about them is if you get two, you can put them together and make even more shapes. And so guess what happened? I ordered one today and it arrived today. So now I have two. I couldn't help myself. They're so fun. So now I have another one. I went to Amazon just to see what other kinds they had, and they had a bunch. Mom's like, don't get the blue one. It's not very fun. So I didn't get the blue one. I got this one, which looks like it's super fun and colorful too. Yes, look at those colors. It's very exciting. Anyway, I'm going to put them down. I'm not going to spend all evening playing with them, but I did need to let everybody know it's like my new secret obsession now is this silly cube. I spend a lot of time pulling reports, and while that's happening, there's not a lot else going on. It's kind of boring, to be honest, some of the time. This has been my best friend. It has just kept me calm and relaxed, and it makes all kinds of shapes and sounds and clicks and feels good. And anyway, so if you're looking for a good fidget toy, I mean, it's not the cheapest of the fidget toys, but now I have two. Okay, let's go back to the comments. Oh, making you hungry. You're still limited on what you can eat from the dentist, I guess. All right, you did, and you made her pie. She's happy. That's good. Mary broke tradition, and her daughter, very much like me, got her feelings hurt. Oh, your son got one of these cubes? Yeah, it's so fun. Camille said that she gave one to one of her kids and one of her bonus kids. Man, LB, they're so much fun. I don't want to put it down. It's hard to always get it back in the cube. I think I played with it for almost an hour today before I was able to get this one back in the cube finally. And it just all of a sudden popped back in the cube. So it doesn't always stay in the cube. It makes all different kinds of shapes. This is not a sponsored video. This is a gift. And then I enjoyed it so much, I bought one for myself. Because it's so much fun. I cannot put it down. It's addicting. You just want to keep flipping it in on itself and making fun shapes. I've been posting weird shapes in my Discord. Y'all have been lucky. I think I only posted 2 or 3. I have a whole bunch. Just fun shapes that it makes as you play. Oh yes, Deanna, don't forget to smash the like button because I never remember to tell y'all to do that. But if you're new here, subscribe if you know how and smash the like button. Is it origami? Sort of. It's got magnets. And so they say you just move it around and it flows together and different things will click in place. And then you just make a bunch of different shapes. I don't know what it is exactly, except for a lot of fun and very relaxing. It has kept my anxiety level so low today. I'm excited to play with 2 of them. But we're not going to bore y'all with that. I'm going to put it down or else I won't be able to stop playing with it. I have to put it out of my reach. Hello, Diana. Thanks for being here. Happy Monday. So, I hope you all had a great holiday weekend. I hope you are having a great start to the week. I did have to work today. I had a few members of my team, actually half of my team. My team is sort of in a healthcare retail split. And so half my team had to work today. So I worked today, but no meetings. It was very quiet. I was able to get a lot of reporting done, not as much as I had originally hoped to get done. But just other things did come up that I had to take care of. So we still have multiple days working on end of year and end of month reporting. It's that time for a lot of us. Super, super fun all the time. But that's how my day went today. So for, the last Monday of the year, not bad. This is really just, we're going to get it even, maybe. Nope. I've got to figure this out, guys. It's really there. It's not a problem. Anyway, thank you for being here tonight. For those of you who are here, this is not the Vlogmas series. Vlogmas is over, but I did talk about wanting to do a live stream every Monday night. Obviously, some of y'all got that message, so I certainly appreciate that you're here. And the topics that I wanted to cover tonight, sort of as a precursor to an actual video that I'll do on it as well, is 2023 goals and 2023 word of the year. So I know some of you do word of the year, and then I know some of you do goals. Some people will say that they have resolutions. Um, and then some people don't set any goals or any resolutions. They just kind of go into the year trying to, do whatever serves them best. So I like having goals in that regard. I know we've talked about goals and I don't like them and things like that, but I have to be really conscious when I pick goals that they're things that won't overwhelm me or will end up making me not want to do the goal because I've structured it in a way that doesn't work well for me. So I did want to talk about that. And then last year was the first year that I've ever done a word of the year, and I hadn't even heard of it. And to be honest, I don't know where it started. I don't know how long it's been around or where it originated. If anybody knows, I'd love to know. I'm not sure. But I saw somebody on YouTube doing word of the year and really started thinking about it. So for those of you who've been following me here in 2022, my word of the year was evolve. And I feel like that word helped push me through the year. So I wanted to talk again just a little bit about those upcoming goals and upcoming word of the year, and then just kind of throw it out to y'all to see if y'all had any goals or words of the year that you may be choosing. So let me go check out the comments first. Tracy, hello Tracy. LB says Lulu is cute. She asked if I got the message that your live stream on Mondays. That's cute. I love Lulu. That's sweet. So I think I want to start with word of the year just because it's a little bit not necessarily simpler, but it's just one. And I kind of wanted to talk about it and why I chose it and my plan and how I'm going to sort of use my word, right? So I'm curious if any of you have a word of the year. If you use words of the year, you do not have to share with me. I know some of you are content creators and may want to put your word out on your own video first. And like I said, I'll actually be doing a video announcement of my word of the year as well. But y'all are my friends, y'all are here live and in person. And so I wanted to talk about it with y'all and, sort of explain it more in depth and then let y'all share, because sharing helps, right? In my mind. Let's see. Teresa says she's not sure what her word of the year is yet. You have to marinate on it. I've been thinking about it. She started dancing. Hello, Lulu. I'm so glad that you're here and reminded your mom that I'm live today. That's very sweet of you. Do you like my giraffe? He's cute, isn't he? So I've given a lot of thought to my word of the year, and I've had several words that have been running through my brain, especially in the last month. And as the words sort of came, because I knew that I was going to be looking for a good word, I had words that I resonated very strongly with. And one of those words has come up a lot recently as well. And that word was progress, or just to progress and progressions. And that is one thing that I have been focusing on, and I have been working on progress, right? For me, progress is to move forward, and I want to continue to move forward. And then another word that also kept coming up and resonating with me was change, because I don't like it. not not a fan. It gets a 2. Change gets a 2. It's actually epic disaster. Probably change right now is epic disaster. I struggle with change. I like normalcy. I like routine. I like repetition. I don't like when you give me baby dolls forever and then don't, and you changed it up. I don't like when you wear glasses my whole entire life and then don't. Those are just some examples from my mama, but change has always been really hard for me. So I thought about using progress, or even using the word progression. And then I thought about using the word change. But the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I felt like they were not only similar to each other in a lot of regards, but they were also similar to my current word of the year, evolve. Because at the end of the day, in all of them, the progression is to move forward. The change is to do things differently so that I can still continue to keep moving forward. And I chose the word this year of evolve because I wanted to be able to continue to do that forward motion. So those were the 2 words that had resonated really strongly with me. And then I had another word, and that's the one that I'm going to choose to be my word of the year. But I sort of wanted to give that hindsight into, or insight, I guess, into the other words that I thought about and didn't choose, and how they led me to the word that I did choose. Oh, hello, Camille. Always better late than never. So we're talking about word of the year. If anybody would like to share their word of the year, feel free. Again, quick recap. Words that I thought about using were progression and change. And then again, I just felt they were too close to evolve. And so over the last really 2 weeks, probably, I keep thinking about progression and change, and if one of them might mean something a little bit different, how can I use it to, continue to move forward? And then I started thinking of what is it that keeps that from happening? Because the reason that I don't move forward, or the reason that I don't progress, not always, but very often, leads back to the fact, and I've said this before, I'm afraid. So, although it may seem weird, and I'll explain it a little bit more, my word for 2023 is fear. Because I don't want it, and I want to conquer it. And I know that when I do, all of those evolutions, progressions, and changes can happen. So I did a little bit of research, me being the nerd, of course, that I am. I took some notes, actually. So let me find my notes really quickly. But I looked up the definition, right? So the definition of fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or a threat. Now, there are different types of fear as well, right? There is irrational fears. There are phobias. But then there are some fears that are valid and instinctual and built into us, so that we don't put ourselves in harm's way, right? But what I have really been thinking about over the last, especially several weeks, is what is it that keeps me from doing things? And every time it comes back to fear. And when they talk about different types of fear responses, there are 4 different fear responses: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. And in certain situations, I feel like I do all of them, right? I feel like in every situation may be different, but a lot of times, fight isn't a big one for me, just because I don't normally outwardly display anger in any sense. But internally, I do. And I fight with myself a lot about doing things. But more often, I would say flight or freeze are the 2 responses that I have. I have always in my history been very quick to just opt out. Oh, that sounds like too much. We're just going to flight. We're just going to pass. Thanks. Hard pass. No thanks. Can't. There have been parties that I was invited to that I know the area, and I used to know that the parking was bad, and so I just wouldn't go because I didn't know how far away I was going to have to park, and I didn't know if I could walk that distance and still feel okay to participate in any type of party. So I just wouldn't go. I would just opt out. People would ask me to do things, and my whole brain says, I don't want to do that. And normally it's to let me get back to you because I can't tell you no right now, which is a little bit of the fawn syndrome. Fawn is, for those of you who may not know, fawn is sort of where you appease just to get out of it. And so sometimes I would do that in the sense of not answering right away, even though I knew 110% I was never going to go and do that. And I remember talking to Amy about it a little while ago, and it kind of hurt her feelings that she would always look forward to the things that we did together, and I always struggled to even want to do them because I was afraid. For just all different kinds of reasons, right? Some rational, some irrational, some that just over time, and me being my biggest bully, I have caused the fear in myself. And the only way that I can think to continue to forward progress and overcome and change is to take that fear head on. So my word for 2023 is fear. And we're going to push through it. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to do it afraid. We're going to do it sad. We're going to do it happy. We're going to do it together. We're going to do it anyway. So that might have been a long explanation, but I did have worry about the word for a little while, only because fear for a lot of people, including myself, is a negative. It's a negative word, right? Fear. It's an unpleasant emotion. That is the definition. It's unpleasant. But it doesn't mean that you can't move through it and progress through it. And so even though the word itself may not always be seen in a positive light, like a progression or a modification even, right? Sometimes it's the way you look at it. The way I look at fear now is it's a positive. It's an unpleasant feeling that I will go through, but I'm going to go through it. And then the more you go through it, the less unpleasant it feels. And there's empowerment in that. And I'm at the place now where I feel like that's really what I need. So that was a long talk without checking in with anybody. So let me go see if y'all have been saying anything. And thank you for listening to my little rant there. Let's see. I saw Deanna post her words, and I watched her video on it today, Deanna, but I was trying to go back to see if I could find them. Where was that message? Will also says that he's trying to think of a good word. Breakthrough, self-care, strength. Wasn't there another one? Anyway, so those are her words. And I know Mary said at some point, I'm losing all my chats here, but Mary said that her word is consistency, which is a great word for the year. Oh, there it is. Oops. Her word of the year is consistency because she really needs to work on it. Should it be fearless? I did actually think of that, to be honest, as being the word of the year, but I'm not. And I don't know that I want to be fearless. I want to do it anyway. Because sometimes it's okay to be afraid because it's new and it's different, but can you still overcome it? So I did think of the word fearless because it is a more positive spin on the word. Y'all know I'm big on words and what they mean to me and how I look at them, right? So for me, it was about the fear that I need to just talk about it. I need to share it. I need to work through it. I need to admit when it's happening. And I think all of those things will really help. So. But great, Teresa. I do love that. Will says he likes the word thank you. Camille says overcoming fear is awesome. It's hard. I'm very fearful, which I don't even know when that happened. It just happened slowly over time, right? Sarah says she wasn't going to come up with the word of the year, but now we want one. I really liked the word of the year, and I was tempted to do just the word of the year instead of goals, but the goals that I have are sort of in line with everything else that I'm doing, and some of them will be conquering fear. So I felt like they went hand in hand. I know for a lot of people, they do a word instead of a resolution, but I really liked them. And I really have, like I said, I've been praying on it for the last few weeks, actually, because it is something that's important to me on how I'm going to move forward. And it's a new and different life for me, and I enjoy it, and I want to continue to learn and grow and change and all of those things. Deanna says she's very familiar with flight and freeze. Yes, I do both. And in certain situations, especially with leadership, often I fawn, which is where you're just you appease. You may go back and kind of do things behind the scenes to make it better or make it different, but in the moment you have that appeasement. And so, yeah, the freezing. It's the freezing, especially the freezing right now is really bad. But to be honest, more of it was flight. I wouldn't even get to the freeze because I wouldn't be there. Hey, Derek, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you being here. Deanna says freeze then fawn is the go-to behavior. Yeah, if I'm frozen and you're still there, I have to then appease. I agree with that. I think that's absolutely what I do in a lot of situations. It's just an easier way out. Teresa says, if you focus on the word fear, do you think it will manifest fear? What about the opposite of fear? I thought about that, and no, I don't. I want to think about the fear because I want to recognize it for what it is. Because I think sometimes I lie to myself about it. And so conquering fear is not a negative. Fear is not a negative. Fear sometimes saves your life. And that's the truth. but it's the healthy balance of what is actually something that should be a fear and what have you made a fear in your own head. For me, again, this is all for me, right? I think I love this discussion, by the way, because a lot of this I did kind of think of, and I'm happy to explain it because I have thought of it. And we have talked about the fact that I don't like to use negative words for positive emotions. But the more and more I thought about it, I don't think fear is a bad thing. I really don't. Um, it is an unpleasant emotion, and in certain situations I shouldn't have that, but without understanding the word, I'm not sure that I can move through the fear. Now there are some fears that are going to be harder for me to work through than others because some of them are irrational, um like my fear of latex balloons. Welcome. I have a fear of latex balloons. It's bad. It's real bad. I don't even like to see them on TV. Um, so things like that, can you work through them? Sure, but I'm talking more about other types of fear for me. Um, so courage. Courage is a good word. I like that word. And will it take courage in some situations to do it? Yes. But in a lot of them, I know I'm not going to have it. And I don't always know that you need the courage to do it. Just do it. For me, again. I don't know. I'm going to keep saying that, but for me, that's what it means. Oh, that's okay. I'm sure you've already gone, friend, but have a good evening. Diana says, joining in on my Vlogmas is as social as she's been since 2020. I mean, it happens, right? I'm not a social person, and most of my social is still virtual outside of the walks that I do on Sundays. Um, I talk to everybody here or online. But even that for me, for a long time, had a certain level of fear associated with it. Deanna says, her words were fate, a random internet picture, and they made sense to her. It was strange, and I figured it was meant to be. Yeah, our coach, Kirsten, over at Kirsten Quick Fit, Deanna and I are members of the Fit Squad. There are a few Fit Squad members here. She posted like the first four, one of those word find puzzles, and the first four words you find are your words of the year. I'll be honest, I don't even remember what my four words were because I had already had this thought process in my head when that happened. But yeah, sometimes when you find the word and it fits, or words is fine as well. Yeah, it's a nice way for me to sort of move and progress forward. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. I mean, that's true. You're not wrong. Derek thinks his word should be determined. That's a great word. That's a very good word. Oh, yep. Look, everybody agrees. Cheryl agrees. Camille agrees. Mary says it's her first time for the word of the year. Last year was my first time for the word of the year. It was the first time that I had heard of it. And I did set goals as well as my word of the year last year. And I am doing that again this year. But Evolve really ran through my head all year. And I changed and progressed a lot, which is why when I went back to those two words, it felt very similar. And it's not that the goal isn't the same, but I wanted to figure out what was stopping that or why I kept having to make that my word. And I think it's the fear. So, hey, Jess, thanks for stopping by. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. Will says one that he high on the possible option scale, relentless. Yeah, relentless. You have to be relentless in some format. I get that. That's a great word. That's a good, strong word as well. Camille says that I want to take away fear's power over my life. This is awesome. Yeah, courage, moving through fear. Absolutely. So, Did you miss the reveal of the word? Yes, you did, but I just said it again. So just in case to recap, my word of the year for 2023 is fear. And it's not a negative. For me, it's a positive. I've already done a lot of things that I'm scared of. I've lost 150 pounds. I was scared to do that. That's the truth. I was scared to start exercise, and I was especially scared to start strength training. And so I evolved by doing all of those things. And now I want to do the things that I'm afraid of to prove to myself that I can in a lot of the situations. So everybody's saying ha 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 ha. You'll never work through your fear of rats. That's okay. I don't know that I will ever work through my fear of balloons. I've been afraid of them as long as I've been alive. For those of you who may not have heard this story before, just for fun, because that's a random thing to be afraid of, but it's one of those things people ask me, well, how did you get your fear of latex balloons? I don't actually know. When I was 3, even, my mom and my Aunt Judy decided that it would be, super fun to blow up like 300 balloons and put them, in my Aunt Judy's house. And she dressed up like a magician. My poor Aunt Judy, I've already told y'all she scarred me. She dressed up like a magician. She made my mama disappear at that party. It was just a bad party all around, but she did a magic trick and made my mom disappear, and I freaked out. And I never knew it was her. Every time she dressed up, I never connected that somebody would be dressed up and that it was my Aunt Judy. And so I walked in and basically just screamed until I almost passed out, and they had to get rid of all of the balloons. So I don't know why I'm scared of them. So things like that, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about things like I want to do a ropes course. I've never done anything like that. I like adventure. I like adrenaline. But having to use my body in a way like that, rock climbing is something else recently that I've recently talked about. And I've talked about it with Natasha. Very interesting to me. Have no idea if I can do it or at what level. And normally that makes me go hard pass. But one thing that I've learned through fitness is there are all levels. It's just which one you're at right now and what can you do at the level that you're at until you can continue on, right? Jess has words. Her words are flow and worthy. Worthy is a great word. I love the word worthy. I say it all the time. You're worth it. You are. We all are. Teresa says she gets what you're saying. Fear is not inherently negative. It's just a matter of what you do or don't do as a result. Absolutely. And that's sort of the stance that I took on it. Much more well-spoken and said than I did, Teresa. But yes, that's exactly it. I remember, so I have had... sometimes I feel like, you have the people who are like, if you didn't have bad luck, you wouldn't have any at all. Well, so I've been robbed a couple of times, and a few of those times have been at gunpoint. And I remember my mom telling me after one of those situations that they can take all your stuff, but don't let them take your sense of security. Don't be afraid. And that really helped, because they just took my stuff, or they took my money. I had my life, and not everybody gets out of those situations that lucky. I don't know that I've ever shared that online. I've even had to go to court and be a witness, and so those things don't bother me for the most part. I still live in the same apartment that's been robbed. Luckily wasn't here when that happened. But I still live here, and I'm not afraid, because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I want to look at everything like that. Deanna said she thought it was funny because she did not read the instructions since it said 4 and you stopped at 3. Oh, so that's why you only have 3, not 4. Okay. Cheryl said the 4 for her was love, connection, care, and breakthrough, and that you might use some of those. Absolutely. Those are all really good words. So Deanna says, Jess, that she's curious about flow and why that is your word. I'm going to assume, oh, she's already answered it. I was like, are you going to do a video on it too? Because I'd like to see a video on it. But she says because she has a tendency to try to control, but when she goes with the flow, it's even better. That's funny. These little new cubes that I got, they flow. They say just let it flow until it hits a shape. Teresa says she's thinking about execute. Take actions, get results. Oh, yes, execute. Execute a plan. Do the thing, right? Do it, do it. Execute. That's a good word. I like that word a lot. That's good, Teresa. Will says fear can be hard to push through, but learning to ignore and push on is so empowering. I hope so. I think so. I'm so afraid of so many things, and I have that part of my brain that goes, that's ridiculous. You don't need to be afraid. You don't have any reason to be afraid. And that's the thing about some irrational fears, different levels of it. But like I've said, there would be venues that I wouldn't go to because I wouldn't know if I would know where to park or how far away I'd have to park or if I could walk that far and still feel okay. And now I don't care. I'll figure it out. I'll just walk. I'll get there. I'll make it happen. But there are still certain situations, even that come up now, and my brain goes, "Oh, you can't do that. That's too scary." I don't want to think that. I'm tired of thinking that. I'm tired of listening to Pete in my head telling me that I can't do things and being afraid. It's holding me back, and I'm tired of it, and I don't want to do it anymore. Marcy says that she has 2 words, strength and healing. Very good. I love the word strength. We all know that. But healing is very good. We have to heal ourselves from a lot of things, from a lot of trauma. And I know there's a lot of trauma that's caused the fear. I think I've shared for a while. The reason that I went on, maybe I haven't shared, so just in case. The reason that I went on medication the first time was that I almost died at work, and then, shocker, had a fear of dying in public. And so I didn't go to public places if I could help it because I had this fear of if I left my house, I may die. And I got on the medication, and that's what helped me get into the headspace to where I was ready to make this change. And for those of you who have been following along, I'm back on medication. Since my dad passed, I've been struggling with that again. So we're moving forward. We're conquering fears. We're doing different things and looking at it differently than I have in the past. Because you're not promised tomorrow. And I was never looking forward to tomorrow. And now I am. But I almost feel more at peace that I know I'm not promised tomorrow because I know I'm doing today everything that I'd like to do today. Now, I mean, of course, you make plans for the future, right? But I think you get, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. For me is it's that I want to be able to do the things without the fear behind it. Even if that doesn't end up happening, that's still okay. And plans change, right? Like I may agree to do something and then something happens and that plan falls through, or I get sick, or they get sick, or the venue's closed, or whatever it is, right? Plans change, and there's adapt to that, adapt, modify, and overcome. That I like to say. Sorry, let me get back to the comments. Deanna says she would love to do a ropes course, but also fearful and have nobody that will go with me. Well, I'll go with you when I come visit one day, Deanna. I know I have Amy's wife, Dana, in, and I think Natasha said that she may be willing to do it with me as well. It's so scary to me, but I feel like I could do. I like heights. I'm not one that's scared of heights. Like, that's not the fear. The fear is that in my head, I'm still too big, not strong enough, not coordinated enough to be able to do something like that. I am strong enough, coordinated enough, and small enough to do things like that. Now, will I be expert level? No, I'm going to be a beginner. I've never done it before. But just like with exercise, I have to be okay with being a beginner. I'm not going to nail all of it. If I try to climb a rock wall, chances are I'm going to fall down. You know how scared I've been of falling? When you weigh 330 pounds, you walk slow because you cannot afford to fall. That's me talking. That's what my brain says. If you fall and break something, I mean, can you recover from that? Like, that's how my brain thought. And that's not it's not a good feeling. So if I fall, I fall. Now I can't be afraid of that. I'm a different person. I'm half the person almost that I was before. That's not a fear that I need. I feel very comfortable in my body compared to what I used to. Still not fully, but much more than I did before. Even on my live stream on Friday, my mom made a comment about how proud she was and how impressed. And I'm not saying that to gloat. I'm saying that to explain. The reason she said that was because I was doing overhead presses with 12-pound dumbbells, which for some people is heavy and for some people is still very, very light. But for me, that's a huge thing because for years they told me I'd never be able to lift my arm over my head. And at 330 pounds, I couldn't. And they told me that, and so I never tried. I was afraid. And then I started doing all these exercises and workouts, and there was stuff done overhead. And so I would try different stretches and try different things and try to move forward and get it. And now my arm goes, it's still not great, but it goes almost all the way straight up. I still have to be careful. I still can't do a barbell behind my neck because I can't get my arms back enough to hold the barbell. There are different tools that you can use at gyms to, be able to do that. But for right now, I just do other things, right? But I was afraid to move it because I didn't want to make it worse. They said I couldn't, and so I just believed it, right? But now I don't want to be afraid of that. I want to be able to do it anyway. I want to not have those old ruminating thoughts in my head that have been there for 20 or 30 years, just living in my brain rent free, like they say, right? I want to kick all those thoughts of fear out because I don't need them anymore. So let me go back to the comments. Ropes courses look so cool. They do look, and yes, my mom is real smart, especially when it comes to me. She's real smart. Sorry, got real quiet. I lost my place. Oh, Teresa says she'll do a ropes course with y'all. When are y'all going? I want to come. Natasha, I know you will, Natasha. I appreciate it. I already put you on the list. I don't know if I told you that or not, but you're on the list. And for rock climbing. We're doing that this year. We're doing that in 2023, Natasha. Will says ropes course could be tons of fun. Great way to conquer something scary. And here's the thing. I like heights. I like roller coasters. I like things where I'm strapped in and go, but to have to use my own body to do that, it's weird. She was like, Natasha had asked about rock climbing. I was like, I don't think I can do that. Before I even really thought about it, my instinct was, oh no, I can't. can't rock climb. Ropes course? Oh, no, I can't do a ropes course. I can, and I will. And I will not be afraid. And if I am, that's fine. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it afraid. Because I feel safe. They have safety precautions. I'm a rule follower. Derek said he never thought that he could do Navy SEAL burpees, but he went for it. And you did a crap ton of them, Derek. For those of you who may not know what a Navy SEAL burpee is, it's not only, where you jump and then go into the ground, hop your legs back, but you actually do a push-up with sort of like a mountain climber move where you bring your knee up to your elbow basically every time you do the push-up, and then you hop back up, and that's one. So, I mean, I'm still not doing burpees on the floor yet, so yeah, that's huge. Oh, glad that you made it for the word. Have a good evening. Good night, good night, good night, good night. You'll watch and be a cheerleader. I also mentioned that, Mary. I said Mary may not do it, but she'll be there with us. Same thing with Amy. Deanna says, rock climbing up okay, but how the heck will I get down? I don't know, but I'm not going to worry about it. They'll tell me what to do, and if I have to jump, then I have to jump, and it'll be okay. Get a megaphone. I love you, Mary. She don't need a megaphone. We can hear. She's like me. We're loud. We're Southern. We're loud Southerns. Sorry. It's the truth. I love it. I think it's great. Although sometimes I'll be talking real loud and I'm still like, I don't think they can hear me back behind me, but it's fine. Let's see. Not sure if you have enough upper body strength. Me either. That's why I said no. I'm like, I'm not strong enough to do that. How do I know if I'm strong enough to do that? I don't even know what type of strength it takes. I've never done it before, and yet I made assumptions just based fully out of fear and said hard pass, and then stopped immediately, luckily, and thought about it and was like, well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could. I climbed that little tiny, like 10-foot rock wall. It was not very big. Mary made it look like I was high up there. Thanks, Mary. But I was like a foot off the ground. But I still got up there and did it without even thinking about it. Then, because it was at a playground. And a playground was accessible. I wasn't afraid of a playground. I could climb a rock wall that was like 10 foot tall on a playground. But to climb a rock wall and say that's what I'm going to do, a little scary. A little scary. Will says they have some big cliffs that are a lot of fun. Maybe Will. I see Will has pictures like people rappelling down mountains. I don't know. Deanna says she needs to go one of those indoor places maybe and see if you totally freak out and have a meltdown. I mean, that's my plan. And Natasha says, Deanna, you rappel down the wall or climb down, but the climbing is harder, and it actually takes a lot of lower body strength, more so than upper body strength. Teresa's curious where everyone is. She's in North Carolina. Oh, and then telling where we are. Not sure about the rest. Yep, Cheryl says she's in Minnesota. Natasha is back in Houston with us. Yes, we have talked about doing a retreat. I know I've talked about coming to pick Deanna up, and then we're going to, evidently now we're going to go rock climbing or a ropes course, and we're definitely going to go ride some roller coasters when I go visit Deanna. So, yeah, I know he said cliffs, and did you see the fear go? Oh, I don't know. Well, we'll circle back around. I'm down for a wellness retreat. Yeah, we actually have talked about, Amy and I, my best friend Amy and I have talked about, because she's part of the Fit Squad, and it doesn't have to be just Fit Squad, but we'd actually talked about doing that because I enjoy so much meeting with Amy, Mary, and Natasha now every weekend. It's just so fun to get to know people and have people that are, like your family, because I don't have any family here in Houston. I'm the only one that lives here. I live between all my other family members. My brother lives in the Dallas area and my mom lives in Louisiana. So I'm about 3 to 4 hours from each of them. So I just live smack in the middle. And so the family that I have here is the family that I've made. And then the family that, I've made here on YouTube are really like family to me. Some of you, because I talk to you every day. I look forward to speaking with you. I check in on you. You check in on me. And I love that. I think it's really important. Marcy is in Washington State. Yeah, Mary is outside of Houston. You have small ones. Yeah, I'm serious too, Teresa. I mean, I can work from anywhere. So even if I have to work a little bit, we've talked about renting a house somewhere. So yeah, we've talked, we can talk about it. We're going to be doing live streams every week. We'll have time to talk about it. Diana's in Colorado. You do, in fact, have a Six Flags. That's why I said, I mean, and we can plan one there. I've never been to Missouri. I've never been to a lot of places. I used to always say, if you play the have you ever been, I'm going to lose. St. Louis would be pretty central. That is true. And they have rocks courses, ropes course. I mean, Deanna, it feels like you're the spot. So I also get that. Derek says he'd totally love to do something, but times are rough. Times are rough for a lot of people. And we're still got to plan that Disney World trip at some point in the future. But now it's gotten so expensive. It feels like you need a couple of years just to plan for that. Anyway, we're almost at an hour and we haven't even talked about goals. So, and I hate to do this, but I think I may just give you a few of my goals really quickly. And maybe we'll talk about goals again in our next live stream, which will be next Monday. But the goals that I have set so far are, well, let me just really quickly. So my goals for 2022, as a recap for those of you who are here, and again, I'll be doing a video on this as well, but in 2022, my goal was to get under 200 pounds, and I did that. And then my goal was to hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I did not. Weight loss has pretty much stopped being a goal for me. And y'all know that I say the number on the scale is by far the least important part of it. But I do also say that I think it is a good tool and I think it is a good data point to use to show progress. And in my brain, when I was at 330 pounds, I wanted realistically, what did I think it would look like when I got down to a healthy weight? And to be really honest, it was this weight between 175 and 180, which is where I am now. I felt would be where I would feel my best, where I would be the healthiest, because this is the size that I was in high school, or really before I graduated high school. And I felt like that was when I was the most active in doing things. But now that I'm here, I know that I have more to lose. I'm going to gain more muscle. I'm sure I will lose more fat at some point, depending upon how my skin continues to progress. I may have some skin removal because it's causing issues with scar tissue and flares because of my autoimmune disease as well. Anyway, say all that to say, I am going to set a goal weight or a goal to hit this year. And it's not really very much if you think of it, but for me, it's a huge thing. So my goal is to get down to at least once 165 pounds, because then I will have lost half of my body weight. And there's, and some of me thinks that's impressive to lose half of your body weight. Some of me thinks I'm the person that got to 330 pounds. It just wasn't impressive. It just became necessary for me to do it. But I think it's a very realistic goal. I have no doubt that I'll hit the goal. And I'm a numbers kind of person. And since I don't know where I'll land, I still wanted a target to keep me on track and to keep using the data point of the number to see where it goes. So one of my goals will be to get down to 165 pounds this year. It's so weird. It's so crazy for me to even say in my head. Like in my head, I feel like, Misty, 165 pounds, it's going to take you forever. And just spoiler alert, right now I'm only about 12 pounds away from that. So do I think I can lose 12 pounds in the next year? I think I can. So that's going to be one of my goals. I'm still going to keep the goal of getting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. but I'm going to do it a little bit differently this year because I set that goal and then, to be very honest, really didn't do anything in particular to try to hit it. I just put out videos and gained subscribers naturally, which is still what I'm going to be doing. But a few of my other goals, which I'll share later, will relate back to my channel and things that I want to do. So I'll have a goal to get 165 pounds for the weight. I'll have a goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers for the channel. And then I'm going to have a few fitness goals that I have as well. Because as I learn new things and practice form and see the way that Kirsten, my coach, Kirsten QuickFit, sets up exercises and routines that we do, it's all become so fascinating for me. I think most of you know, my big fitness goal is to have my ACE personal trainer certification by my birthday. My mama blessed me with the money to pay for that. So I don't even have to worry about that piece of it. I just have to do the studying. I actually plan on ordering that after this live stream tonight so that I can hopefully get the books and everything by the first of the year and get started on that. I do have a few smaller fitness goals, which I'll talk about, but overall, those are going to be my big 3 areas of goals are the weight to 165, the channel to 1,000, ACE personal trainer certification by my birthday in July. So those are the 3 big ones, and then I do have a few small ones within each of those to help me make those other ones happen, hopefully, is sort of the thought behind that. So that's just a quick recap of the goals. We'll talk more about goals, like I said, next week, but I did say that we would talk about it, and I didn't want to leave you hanging. That's kind of rude. I didn't want to be like, Trisha, we're not actually going to talk about anything goal related. So those are the goals that I have. And then I'll do a video to talk more about the reasoning behind it and the sort of mini goals within those goals, or challenges, maybe. We'll see. Things to challenge myself to do to meet the overall goal. Sorry. Sorry. Oh, Mary votes for Maui for our retreat. Deanna votes that too. Teresa I've never been to Hawaii, so. Oh, well, Mary, you're winning. Everybody wants to go there. I kind of still want to go where Deanna is because I love Maui, but I want. Do they have ropes course? Do they have Six Flags? Do they have an amusement park? What fun, adventurous things can we do? I just don't know. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying, what fun, adventurous things can we do? The Show Me State. Is that what it's called? Is Missouri the Show Me State? I don't know. I've never been. I do have this, Derek. We're going to get it. Best time of year for retreat? April, May, or September, October? For me. Not that I'm the only one who needs to put in, but not too much in the beginning, not in the smack dab of summer, not at the end. So, like, I almost said in like the 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock spots, like those right there. Because for some reason I saw the calendar as a clock, but I want the ones on the outliers. Hello, Christy. Thanks for dropping by. We are about to wrap up. I'm going to try to keep these not much more than an hour. Will says, love the goals, working on body recomposition. Yes, I am also working on that. Christy says, great goals. One of hers is to figure out how to make shorts. Spoiler, shorts may be one of my little things within there to help the channel grow. Instagram may even be a little part of that. I made a reel the other day. I was really excited about myself. I kind of figured it out. I'm like, you can do it, Misty. You just have to do it. I can learn. I'm such a good learner. I really am. I always tell my trainers, too, that the reason they're good teachers is because really they're good learners. And so I believe that's why I'm a good teacher, is because I'm a good learner. So I can learn to do it. I just didn't. And I didn't meet the goal. and I didn't try. And that's the truth. I didn't put any extra effort into it outside of just doing videos. And then there were several months where I didn't do hardly any videos. So St. Louis does sound a little bit more budget friendly than Maui. I don't know. Sometimes though, when you go places like that, you can get a really good deal. So it's kind of hard to say. You're going to go May or September? Yeah, that's sort of like right before or after summer, but not at the beginning or end of the year. Seems pretty good for me. I took the Vegas trip this year with Amy, and that was in September, and that was kind of a perfect time. It was right after the crazy of the summer, but right before the pickup of work. Oh, Christy's in Missouri too. In Branson. Not Brandon. Branson, Missouri. Flat prices are doable. She said Maui was a joke. It's too expensive. Deanna says they make it really easy now. You can click a button on one of your videos and make a short out of part of it. I know. I saw that, and I already have an idea of what I'm going to do for my first one. Spoiler. Will says Maui in January, February, the whales are there. Oh, that would be cool to see whales. You'll have a new job, so you'll have to wait and see. Yeah. And my job is remote, so even Amy was talking about when do I want to do it or whatever. I'm like, to be real honest, worst case scenario, I just have to work a little bit, but I can still go pretty much any time of the year. But I want to have fun and be able to do things, so we'll definitely rediscuss that. So we've been a little bit over an hour this evening as the first one. I will try to do better about narrowing them down, but it was a lot to talk about. It's a big subject and topic for me. So as a recap, my word for 2023 is going to be the word fear. And my goals for 2023 will be hit 165 in weight so that I will have lost half of my body weight. Get 1,000 subs on YouTube. And get my 8th personal trainer certification. I'm really happy with this plan. I'm looking forward to going into 2023 just as strong as I'm ending 2022, doing all of the things that I can to live the healthiest version of this life that I have now and continue to make it even better every day that I get blessed to do so going forward. So, whale watching is awesome, Mary says. I remember you talking about that. Teresa says, an idea for my channel, a look back at your expedition so far. I do a year in review every year from when I started the weight loss. So February 2nd. So I will absolutely do a year in review as well with pictures and things like that. So that is a great idea. Deanna says for the short, she might just be an option on the phone, not the computer. Yeah, I saw it on the phone. Oh, Derek says it is an option on the computer as well. I have not tried, but I did see it on the phone. Oh, Cheryl says good night, because we're wrapping up. Great goals. Oh, hi! Thanks for being here. Appreciate you dropping by. We're just wrapping up for the night, but yeah, that's going to be the goals for the year. Derek says awesome live. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Good night, everybody. Says Marcy. Christy says the part that confuses her, she wants to grab different parts of my video. I don't know. Maybe, these live streams can be whatever we want because it's my channel. So, and I do what I want. Y'all have learned that. Maybe we can do YouTube stuff. And that might be one of my, okay, so just a real quick mini goal is to do at least 2 live streams every month and to have some of those be with groups of people to help learn new things, like how to do a little bit better on YouTube or what works really well for them or things like that, just to talk about it. Because as a YouTube content creator, sometimes I need to talk about YouTube with other YouTubers because I don't do it. And y'all start talking about analytics and my brain just goes, sounds like a bunch of stuff I don't know anything about. And so I just don't listen. So I want to do things like that. And I think it'll be nice. Christy says, what's nice about your channel is you have genuine connections with people. I can see you achieve your goals this year. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I've always said that I like this channel or my channel to be a place where people can come and have a conversation. Sometimes it's awful one-sided because it's just me talking. And that's why I really like these live streams, is because I do get to talk to y'all. And again, some of the live streams will probably be group live streams so that we can actually talk to each other, because I do really enjoy that. Deanna says, good night. Great chat. Thank you. Teresa says, have a great week. Looking forward to 2023. You love the analytics? Well, then maybe you should join us on the live stream one day and talk about it, Christy, because I don't really get it. We can talk about it more in the Discord as well. Absolutely. Derek, you were on the list of people to hit up already, I can tell you. So, and I know you're not scared of a live stream. So, but that's going to do it for tonight, guys. So I will have video content still coming out. Like I said, not only about my recap and the goals and next year, but just in general, I will do videos. But going forward, the plan is still every Monday, 6 p.m. Central. Going to try for about an hour, sometimes maybe less. Tonight was a little bit more. If we have bigger topics, they may be on a different day or different time or something like that. I feel like this time works pretty well for most people right now. So that's sort of the goal. So the next time you will see me is going to be live and in person, at least, is going to be January the 2nd at 6 p.m. I'll make sure that I schedule the live stream. So if you're free to join, I'd love for you to do so. I don't yet know what the topic of conversation will be. My plan, though, moving forward is to hopefully a few days in advance put it on the community tab, or actually schedule it and put it in the title like I did today's live stream. I put that it was 2023 goals and word of the year, so that you'll have an idea of what the discussion topic is. And if you want to join, or if you want to think about the topic before we discuss it, so that you can have some thoughts, insights, questions, feedback, however you want to participate. I just really appreciate having you all here. I hope you have a great end to your 2022. And I hope your 2023 is even better. Here's to overcoming your fears, meeting all your goals, and doing the things that make you have the healthiest version of your life possible, because you deserve it, you're worth it, and you can do it. Just do it anyway. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you didn't, subscribe if you know how, and comment down below. Would you like to share any of your words of the year or goals? If not, that's okay. Doesn't have to be immediately, but I'd be curious to know what you are. Thank you for everyone who shared this evening what your goals and word of the year are. I really appreciate it. I think you've picked really great words, especially. I know we didn't get into everybody else's goals, but we'll talk about that a little bit probably next week. So that's going to do it for this evening. And until next time, I'll see you real soon.